Minecraft speedrunning has taken over YouTube in the past couple of years, and for good reason. There are insane times, but it wasn't always like this. I'd argue that one of the reasons speedrunning became so popular was because of Dream and Illumina. For a while back in 2020, there was a bit of rivalry as Dream set a world record, soon followed by Illumina beating it. Obviously, Dream then used his skill in his Minecraft Speedrunner vs. Hunter series, but I digress. The point that I'm trying to make is that Dream got his world records the same year that the 1.16.1 update would also change speedrunning. In other words, Dream's runs didn't utilize piglin trades. He used villagers. Instead of trading gold for pearls, he would use it to craft axes to mine wood. So as someone who has failed at 1.16.1 speedruns, I wanted to know if trying it in 1.15 would make a difference. Could I beat Minecraft more easily without bastions, divine travel, or calculators? You're about to find out. If you end up enjoying, consider subscribing. Now let's get into it. So as soon as I spawned in the world, I immediately knew I should look for a village. This is because there are two strategies in 1.15.1 and before, where you try and find a village and loot it so that you have enough iron to get to the nether, and on top of that you need a village in order to get pearls because clerics sell eyes. So immediately I cut down a tree and got to looting the village. The iron golem only had 3 iron in it, which meant I needed to use villager strats, meaning, and this is something that I usually picked up in 1.16 speedruns, I had to trade with a villager to get a bucket so that I could use that instead of having to mine extra iron for it. However, this didn't really matter because at the end of the day, I actually went mining for full iron because I'm not very good at speedrunning and I didn't want to die in the nether. After I found a little bit of a lava pool, I ended up making the portal while I smelted some gold. This is really important because gold is extremely useful in this version of the game. Now you might be thinking, but there's no piglin trades, you mentioned that at the start of the video. And that's true. There are no piglin trades in this version. However, gold can be used to mine trees, as well as sell it to clerics to speed up the process of trading. So anyway, I went to the nether, and there I found that the fortress was really close by. Actually, when I went into the nether, I initially wanted to do an E-ray, because sometimes, even in 1.15, the fortress can still be a few hundred blocks away, so I wanted to make sure I knew exactly where it was. But as soon as I zoomed in, I saw it, and I immediately went for the blazes. Now, I actually got decent rates on the blaze rods, and I did not die, which was really big for me because I really didn't want to have to run back into the fortress. So I was able to successfully escape from the nether, but now I had to loot the village and actually get the pearls. And the way you do this is by getting a Fletcher and a cleric. With the Fletcher, you can sell sticks for emeralds, and then you can trade the emeralds for pearls with the cleric. However, this takes a very long time, so I spent a decent amount of time just mining wood. It was pretty boring, and at the end of the day, it was really for no avail, because there's a chance the cleric does not sell pearls, and I got really unlucky, and it did not sell the pearls. So I needed to find another village. The only other option would have been to let a small villager grow up, which would have taken 15 minutes because there's a standard for that. So I just decided that it would be worth it to just find a new village. The next village I found was actually in the desert though, and the desert villages are really bad for speedrunning because you can't blow them up for wood, which is usually what you do in a savannah village. And not to mention, I didn't even have a desert temple that I could loot for TNT, but desert villages don't have Fletchers usually. So even if I had all the wood, I wouldn't be able to trade because I have to go to a river to get the resources to make a Fletcher. So anyway, I decided to do this different strategy in the desert village. I decided to try and get the librarian to sell me a looting 3 sword. This is extremely big because it would eliminate the factor of having to upgrade a villager. It would in turn just make me have to run in the desert, find a few endermen, and then I'd be done. So initially I tried this, but after a couple minutes I couldn't get him to trade for a looting 3, so I decided to abandon that and just look for another village. This would be my 3rd village, and it took a while, but I actually found a savannah village. Like I said before, this is actually pretty good because savannah villages do have wood in them. However, usually when speedrunning, you have TNT because you do a desert temple, and savannah spawn your deserts typically. So the idea would be that you would loot a desert temple, then blow up the savannah village to get all the wood from the houses. I had no TNT, and I did not want to go looking for a desert temple. So Instead, I just mined manually. This took forever, and in turn, I actually had to smelt some glass to get enough emeralds to upgrade and get enough emeralds to buy the pearls. However, I was able to get 16 pearls after a very, very long time of trading, and I was on my way to the stronghold. Throw an eye, follow it. Throw an eye, follow it. After about 3 throws, I was able to get to where I thought the stronghold would be. And it turns out the stronghold was actually exposed underwater. This was huge because it eliminated the need for me to look in the stronghold to try and find the portal room. I was already in it. So I set my spawn, organized my inventory, and then went into the end. The end fight was pretty straightforward. I used my bow, got the towers all down, and then I started fighting the dragon with my axe and my sword. So I actually was able to get the dragon pretty low, but in an attempt to escape from it, I died. This is lucky because I actually had my spawn point set, so it didn't really matter. Anyways, the dragon fight went pretty well, and at the end of the day, even though it was a pretty scuffed speedrun, I thought that it was pretty fun. And I expected it to be a lot shorter. In my opinion, I should have been able to do that in an hour and a half, but the clerics just were not in my favor. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's different, and I will see you in the next one.